One of the questions we get asked the very most is, do you have a therapist you can recommend for me? And while we wish that we knew of therapists in every single place, in every single part of the country, we don't. So what do we tell them instead, Mel?
We say check out BetterHelp because it's online, it's at a reasonable price, and you can be matched with a therapist within 24 hours. I've also used them and they have been great. And if you don't like your therapist, guess what? Click, and get a new one.
Absolutely. It's so hard when you have an in-person therapist, if you're not clicking with them, to cut them off and get a new one. So that's not an issue with BetterHelp. So we always tell people to try BetterHelp. And if you use our promo code, which is
trybetterhelp.com/WWDN,
you get 10% off your first month.
Go ahead and try it out. That's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN. And you know what? I'm a big fan of doing therapy where you don't have to wear pants, but nobody knows about it.
Are you wearing pants right now, Mel?
I'll see you later. Bye. That's trybetterhelp.com/WWDN.
Mel, you know you have one question before we even start.
I do? What is the question?
Yes, we need an introduction to the dog.
Oh, everybody, there is a dog here. Hey, owner of the dog, can you tell us, first of all, the dog's name, breed, age, and then tell us your name?
My dog's name is Ellie. She is a healer shepherd mix.
Oh, she
She
came.
is she just had her second birthday. And my name is Skyler.
Nice to meet you, Skyler. Is Ellie a good dog or a bad dog?
She is. She has a lot of energy, so she gets to go to her little doggy daycare during the day to run around and burn that off. So she's doing great now.
For those that obviously are not here with the three of us, when she said Ellie's name, Ellie jumped right up into the frame. It was so cute. So welcome, Ellie and Skyler. How do we know you? Have we met you before? Where are you from? What's your favorite color? Do you like football?
So I am Skyler. I'm from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. If anybody is a Little League follower, that is what we're famous for. I have been listening to the podcast for about a year now because unfortunately that's when I joined the Widow Club.
Boo. So you don't like football, you only like Little League baseball?
I do like football. I'm a Philly Eagles fan.
Okay. That's fair. Where in Pennsylvania, like I'm thinking of kind of a rectangle-y shape. What are you close to?
Is it closer to Philly and that's why you like the Eagles? Because there's also the Steelers.
Yeah, this is controversial.
That's why I didn't want to say. I'm smack dab in the middle.
You have choices.
So, yes, I'm like central PA. So I'm right in the middle. I have options.
Okay. We have no options where we live. Well, that's not true. We have all the options because we don't have to be loyal to anybody.
Well, my team is the Detroit Lions.
Oh, I forgot that.
Sorry for the random football question, but that's interesting about baseball. So is that where they have, like you see on the sports channels, like the Little League championships and stuff like that?
Yep, that's us.
How old are you? What do you do in your life besides being a widow?
I am 30 years old. I got my EMT, and instead of working on the ambulance, I work in the emergency room. And I am a single mom to a 3-year-old little boy.
Oh,
So he takes up a lot of my time.
okay. I think I'm going to have questions more for you a little bit later. Do you want to tell us about your person?
I would love to. So my husband, his name was Robert. We called him Bobby. He was 10 years older than me. So a lot of people have a lot of questions like how we met and things like that. We, Williamsport is a small town, so we had a lot of mutual friends. Basically, how we met was I had just gotten out of a relationship and he was single for a little while, and we both downloaded a dating app on the same day and deleted it on the same day.
What?
He couldn't even message me because I downloaded it and then was like, "Oh no, I don't like this at all," and then deleted it. So he reached out to my cousin and my cousin was like, "Hey, Bobby wants to know if you'd like to go to dinner sometime." And I was like, "Sure, but he has to ask me himself."
You didn't want him
So,
passing a note through the friend
nope.
of the friend. Skylar, do you like me? Check yes or no.
Yep, that was it.
So did he ask you?
He asked if we wanted to hang out for a little bit, and then we started talking every day, started talking on the phone every day, and then the rest is history.
So what year did you meet him and what year did you get married, if you got married?
We started dating in 2018. I knew him a few years before that through mutual friends, but we actually didn't get married until 2024.
Oh man. This is terrible because now we're just realizing that this had to have happened very recently.
Because we
So,
are in 2025 right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
You met and you had your happy life together. Yes, you had a child. Like tell us about kind of how your life was going.
So we did our own thing for a while. Around 2021-ish, I have PCOS, so I thought I might have some fertility issues. So I started seeing a fertility doctor. And I was like, I want to get on the ball. If I'm going to have issues, I'm getting older, I want a baby. So all the fertility treatments ended up working. So we had Wyatt in March of 2022 and, lived our life for a while. He was a farm boy. He liked to do the farm things. He was a truck driver, but he was home every night. So nothing exciting. And then we ended up getting married on my Graham's birthday in January of 2024.
Did your Grams get to go to your wedding? Is she still around?
No, my grandpa's not still around. Yeah, so I was trying to bring some light and some positivity back into that day since it was my favorite person's birthday. So that's why I decided to get married on January 23rd.
Oh, that would have been a cold wedding.
Did you guys have snow?
It was icy and it was cold, but we did just a little courthouse wedding with our family, and we were supposed to have our wedding reception in that September.
Oh,
Um,
hey, that's not a bad idea. Like, just get married whenever you want and then just have a reception
oh,
whenever
it
you
was a
want.
great idea. It was
Why
a
didn't I
great
never
idea.
think of that? I don't think that that's that like mind blowing of an idea, but for some reason that just hit me as like rocket science.
Back in the day, though, Anita, everything was all the same because
Yeah.
nobody was slightly creative. And now there's the internet and people have ideas and there's Pinterest.
Yes.
So you get married in January of 2024. You have your toddler at that time, right? He would have been what, 2? And then take us through 2024.
So we were married for roughly 5 months before he passed away. He was in a vehicle accident while he was working.
Ooh. And you said he
hmm
was a truck driver, so he was at work. How did you find out about that?
There's a couple of things. I had Life 360 on my phone, and it sent me a little text and was like, "Hey, call Bobby. He might have been in an accident. He might have dropped his phone, or he, may have braked hard."
He might be dead or he might be totally fine.
He drops his phone every day, so it's not that. And then I'm sitting there. I had just put Wyatt down to try to get him to take a nap. We went to the grocery store. We got all our meals for the week. It was a Friday. And I was like, it's probably nothing. He's probably stuck in traffic because I could see his little pin on the screen. And I was like, he's probably just stuck behind the accident. He's not in it. And I'm calling, every 3 or 5 minutes, goes right to voicemail. I'm like, okay. Then I start getting on Facebook and I'm scrolling and I see like there's an accident here, there's an accident, it's a dump truck. And I'm like, oh, well, he doesn't drive a dump truck. He drives like the big lowboy trailer. He hauls like construction equipment around. And I was like, oh, so it's not him. He's just stuck in traffic and he doesn't have service. And I was like, makes perfect sense. So I sat there a little bit longer and my stomach just didn't feel right. I was like, I don't know. I can see where he is on Life 360. So I went upstairs, got my toddler out. I put him in the car and we went down to get as close as we could to the accident and we sat there. in a little hardware store parking lot, just sitting there, just waiting for like someone to tell me, he was okay. He was stuck in traffic. It wasn't him. And then, as I'm sitting there, I'm calling my mom, letting her know what's going on, calling my friends. And finally, his mom calls me and she's like, Skylar, do you know what's going on? And I was like, no, but I'm down here. She was like, why would you go down there? And I was like, nobody was telling me anything. And she's like, it was him.
Wait, how did she know?
Somebody who worked for the same company he did was there on scene because he knew that like one of the trucks was in an accident and they could tell by the truck number.
And was she listed as his next of kin with the company or something like that?
His brother also works for the same company, so they told them and then they told me.
Oh, hmm. I don't know how I feel about that.
At this point, the police like were trying to figure out who he was and how to get in contact with me. They were trying to go to my door to like let me know the right way. You know what I mean?
You said he drove a lowboy. Forgive me because I don't know what that means. That's like a big trucky thing, right?
Yes. So think of 18-wheeler with huge like flatbed trailer.
Okay. Okay. That seems like if you were in an accident, that would just like mow over somebody else. Forgive me for that whole concept. But like how do you get hurt when you're that huge?
So it was two big trucks that hit each other. Yeah. Another truck was trying to avoid rear-ending somebody and swerved into his lane.
Oh, damn.
So it was head on.
Yeah.
Of two giant things.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Was the other driver also injured?
Yes. Yeah. He actually passed away as well.
Oh, golly. And you're in like a
Hmm.
small community, right? So
Right.
that's like two kind of tragic deaths in one. That's like somebody else's life was also, oh, that's so hard.
Do you know who the other person was? Were they from around the area or was it somebody just driving through? Hey guys, just checking in and want to say if you are enjoying this podcast
And you want to see it keep going, maybe it's helped you through your widowhood journey and you think that it might help others on their widowhood journey, you can support that cause by joining our Patreon.
some of the things that you get as a Patreon beneficiary are ad-free episodes, so you don't have to hear ads like this.
You also get exclusive content, and at a certain level, you might also get an exclusive t-shirt you can only get that place.
That is true. It's pretty cool. There are 4 different tiers available, so check it out. It's patreon.com/WWDN.
And as an extra bonus, very often you get your names read by one of my kids, and they will do a terrible job with the pronunciation. And that's like a bonus, I think.
I think it's kind of the best. I would much rather hear somebody butcher my name than say it correctly.
A child butcher it than an adult do it correctly. Yep. So go to patreon.com/WWDN to keep our podcast going and support the widowed cause.
Yes! Thanks, guys! Back to our regularly scheduled program.
It was somebody who also worked for like another local construction company, but they were like an hour away.
Oh
They
my
weren't local
gosh.
to the area. So
Do you have feelings about that person?
it's strange because it comes in waves, because I think that's part of the grief process. Because one moment I'm like, in the beginning, I was really like, it was an accident. It's nobody's fault. Things happen. People make bad choices, whether he swerved the wrong way or was going too fast, nothing's going to change it. And then sometimes I'm like, he was going too fast, or he did swerve into my husband's lane of traffic. So, like, really, I have mixed feelings about it. It depends on the day, honestly.
Yeah, that would be a really hard thing to kind of sit with, right? Because sometimes there's nobody to quote unquote blame, like stuff just happens. But sometimes there's somebody who was in the wrong, and that can almost eat you up inside because there's so many what ifs, and there's a place to put those what ifs. And that's got to be a tricky thing to kind of sit with.
Right.
And then also, I don't know what the other person's like familial status was, but maybe you can also feel a little bit of a kinship with his family members or her family members, whoever it was, knowing that they lost somebody too. And so they're having a lot of the same feelings that you are. Like both of you are in Sucktown and
We're just here in Sucktown, sucking. The support group of Sucktown.
I am known to be poetic sometimes.
And you said, Skylar, that the other truck swerved to avoid rear-ending somebody, right?
hmm
I would assume it was like not an 18-wheeler that he was trying to swerve to not hit.
It was just a little like station wagon car, and she was trying to make a turn, and the guy went around, hit my husband, and then my husband's trailer swung out around and hit her.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh,
so she got hit anyway.
So it was a catastrophe all the way around. There was, I think, 4 vehicles involved, and yeah,
Was that lady okay? In air quotes.
she luckily survived through all that. So
So you mentioned something called Life 360. Can you explain what that is and what the features are of it to those who are listening that don't know?
So it is like a tracking app on your phone. We had it as a family just so if I was trying to get a hold of him, he was out of service a lot. I could go on there, see he was alive, and be like, oh, okay, he's just out of service. We didn't really even think of the accident aspect of it, but that was one of the things that they advertised. They're like, hey, if someone's in an accident, it's going to let you know. It's going to contact your emergency contact and be like, hey, this person may need help. So,
that's so
Wow.
interesting because that sounds like a really great feature until you're in that situation. And is that how you want to find out? And you had this experience. You almost don't know what to do with that information. Like, do I call the police? Do I get my toddler out from his nap and go drive to the hardware store parking lot? Like, I don't know what to do with that information. So I'm not sure if it was actually helpful or not.
yeah, I'll never know if I made the right choice because I mean, the alternative was sitting at my house for hours until the state police knocked on my door.
Was he killed instantly or did they have paramedics there?
I'm hopeful that he was killed instantly. It was so much power hitting each other. There was a fire, and they weren't able to get to him right away. So that's another thing I kind of sit with and like I'm in the medical field. I work in the emergency room, so I'm like scanning the autopsy, trying to like tell myself, "Oh, this is what did it instantly." He didn't suffer. Like just trying to pick it apart
Yeah.
and we'll never really know, but
That was going to be when you told us that you were an EMT, and I said, I'm going to have questions about that. That's
mhm.
before I knew how Bobby died. It was a sudden thing, and that's what you deal with as an EMT. How do you continue to be an EMT without taking on everybody's emergency and letting it take you back to that moment? Like, it'd be traumatic to experience everybody else's emergencies after you've been through your own.
Yeah, so I consider myself a little bit of a white cloud. I We have white clouds and black clouds in the ER. The
I've
Wait,
white
never heard this.
this is amazing.
yeah.
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
So I haven't really had super traumatic things or experiences happen to me yet. I've been doing this for about 5 years, but I've had to do CPR on people. I've held their hand when they're dying, but like I haven't really seen like traumatic accidents or things like really traumatic happen.
Do you have a plan for if it does happen?
When I went back to work, a lot of my coworkers were trying to shield me from things. They were like, "Don't let Skylar in there. No, let's keep Skylar out here." And I'm like, "Guys, I'm fine." I just think I really like my job. I'm really happy doing what I do, and I like helping people, and the adrenaline is really helpful. And I also go to therapy a few times a month.
Good
Do you
job.
work at like I'm gonna guess it's like a smaller hospital, so it's not like a trauma center. Is that true or
Yeah,
false? Yeah.
it's a small town hospital that's like 15 minutes away from me that, we get all the farm accidents, or sometimes the Amish come to visit us.
Oh.
Yeah.
But those farm accidents can be crazy because farmers are notorious for just being like, it's fine. Like, and it's not fine.
Yeah.
Yes, when I see the blue collar guys come in or the Amish, I panic a little bit on the inside because I'm like, they have to be dying to walk through those doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends, he's a bass player, upright bass player, and he also was a farmer. And I didn't know this, but he lost one of his thumbs in to a combine. And I shook his hand one time, and the stub like stabbed me. But anyway. So every time I hear of farming accidents, I think of him.
Yep, we
Yeah.
see missing fingers and lacerations from chainsaws and things like that. So,
Anita's dad would be there.
He's missing two of his fingers and also once cut his leg with a chainsaw. So all and the tip of his thumb he once cut off too. So
He should not play the bass.
also he cannot play the bass. How do
shoot.
you talk to a 2-year-old about his dad dying?
He doesn't really understand. He was really young when it happened. I have a lot of pictures in my house around that he knows who he is, and he knows that that is his dad, and he just kind of knows that he's not around. It's a big thing that I struggled with trying to figure out, how much do I want to traumatize my child? When they're 2 years old, you ask yourself, you're like, do I tell them that their dad is dead, or do I just kind of let him live his life? You know? So it's definitely an internal battle every day. But as far as right now, the easiest thing for me is we look at pictures together. He knows that that was his dad, and he knows that his dad, we say, is in heaven. I still don't really think he gets it, but that's okay because he's a happy 3-year-old boy now. So
What did you end up doing as far as burial services? Did you bury him? Was he cremated?
I have a funny story. He was cremated, but we decided to get him a plot somewhere so that we could go visit and kind of understand like the grieving process and things. But while I was at the cemetery trying to like fill out this paperwork for this burial plot, I heard him like screaming in my ear, "Do not spend money to put me in the ground." And I'm like, he's like yelling at me right now. Like I can hear it like physically.
And was this on brand? Was this something he would have said
This
to you?
was
Okay.
definitely on brand for him. If he knew that I spent money on a funeral and to bury him and to do all the things, he would have a cow.
But you bought the plot.
Yep.
So you went against his wishes.
I put him in there and I was like, listen, there's going to be a lot of people. It's a small town. A lot of people donated and offered things to me. Like people were so kind when he passed away. So, a lot of things helped me out in that aspect, luckily. So,
And because he died on the job site, even though he was traveling, shouldn't his company also be paying for things? Like, doesn't he get workers' compensation something or other? Yeah.
yeah, he, was killed on the job, but his job also offered, to cover some cost of things for me to help me get through.
That's good. I mean, it's not enough. I'm sure it's not like you're a gazillionaire now and you can buy all the cemetery plots you want without even thinking
Right.
about it.
Just buy all of them.
This is my cemetery now.
Yes, no one else is coming.
It's not such a bad idea either.
That would be kind of awesome.
Skylar is full of the good ideas for us today.
I know. We're sudden death widows too, Anita and I. So our brains get scrambled so often. Not that other types of deaths, survivors of that don't. But how has your brain been? Because what month did this happen in again last year?
It was in June.
June. So it's been
Mhm.
a year and almost 5 months.
Yep.
Okay. First of all, how is your memory, like short-term memory going? How is it doing working and regular things? Anita, I hear we have a store.
Oh, we sure do. We've actually had it for quite a while. It's called the Snarky Grief Shop, and it's where you will find all of our best grief merch. That is, yes, a little snarky. For instance, it's where you will find the official widow card that you can pull and use at your convenience.
You can put it in your wallet, and anytime you need to use it, pull it out, play the widow card.
Yeah, we have glow-in-the-dark stickers. We have shirts that say, "Be nice, my husband is dead." We also have the ones that are not quite as jarring, so that you can wear them out in public and not feel weird. But sometimes you need that shirt.
I wear my "Be nice, my husband is dead" to bed because I'm a little scared to go in public with it. But you've worn it on airplanes before with your kids.
Yeah, every time we go to the airport, I wear that shirt because I'm just like, listen, I got to get all these kids through security. Just be nice to me. Thank you so much. And it's worked for the most part.
Some of the less snarky grief shirts are podcast shirts or Widow Wives Club. We also have Resilient AF, right, Anita? What else we got in there?
Yeah, which we're telling everybody who cares, like Mel's mom, that means American fork. Because she can't know what it really means, guys.
Yeah.
Stickers and mugs and notebooks and just cool stuff that you can use to express your snarky grief. You'll find it by going to our website, shop.widowwedonow.com. There's a lot of W's in there, so just make sure that you've counted them and there's the right number.
We will link to that in the show notes, and it's also in our app, which you can get from the App Store. Can people get it from our regular website too?
Yes, if you go to widowwedonow.com, there's a link for the shop in there too.
Great. If you'd like to show your snark or have something a little more subtle, go ahead and check that out. Again, that's
shop.widowwedonow.com.
Oh, it's terrible.
perfect.
I ask myself every day, I'm like, what is wrong with me? Why can I not just function normally anymore? Like, it's so funny because I used to pick on my husband for not being able to remember anything because he had a lot of concussions as a kid and like his memory was just not great. And now that he's gone, twins. I'm like, I got nothing.
You're like, I get it. I thought it was the age difference, but it's actually now I am 90 years old. Yeah.
Yes.
The least they could do is if they're going to die, we should inherit all of their powers. You know, like in a video game, if you vanquish the foe, you get to like take their coins or whatever. Like we should at least get to add their brain power to our brain power or something.
Well,
We
I
should
think
get
she
some
did.
benefit.
It sounds like she did get his brain power.
No, I want it to be additive.
Memory.
I think it just replaced it.
Nope. Never mind.
Are there any things that you've like that are kind of funny that you've totally spaced that you can remember? You know, like just a good widow brain story. I'd try to remember some of mine, but I
can't
have a bad memory. Yeah.
How funny is that?
Oh, I forgot to go to a gig almost one time.
That would have been bad
The
for
same
you.
day. It's never happened. Yeah. I think a lot of things like the little day-to-day details are so hard.
Yeah, it's mainly appointments for me. Like I schedule my appointments like on the dot, write them down in 3 places, and I still show up on the wrong day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you're not calling me to remind me about the day before, I'm not gonna show up.
Also, the day before is too early. I feel like I need a day before, a same day, and the 30 minutes to
Yeah,
really
give
like.
me a few.
Yeah,
I
and then
have
I
to
can
set-
still forget.
I have to set alarms in my phone, like multiple ones, like a day before, then,
Mhm.
2 hours before, 30 minutes before. So, yeah. Do you guys ever, I swear this has been happening to me. I don't know if it's lately or if it's like the whole widow time, where I think I read something like numbers and then it ends up being different numbers in reality later. Like in my mind, I'm like, oh, this thing said 2:10 p.m. And then later when I check it again, it was like, no, it was actually like 2:40 p.m. Does that ever happen to you, or it kind of like just switches?
Yes, to me, but we're maybe just old.
I get times wrong all the time.
But Skylar's not old, and it
I
happens to
know.
her, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you take some time off of work after this happened, or did you go straight back?
I took about a little over a month off. And I started to feel like if I'm not doing something productive, I'm going to lose my mind. So I decided to go back. And at first it was like I definitely came back way too soon, but I ended up actually leaving full time and I only work part time now and pick up here and there. So it works out.
How did you and do you wrap your head around taking care of such a small human all by yourself? Because 3-year-olds are jerks and
Wait,
they
is
are a
her
lot.
3-year-old a jerk? Is your 3-year-old a...
At sometimes, like if she says never, then she is a liar. Like some of them are probably not terrible, but they are jerks.
Yes, I call him I it's funny that you say that word because I look at him all the time sometimes and I'm like, you're being a jerk right now.
They're so fun and they're so cute and they're also just like little terrorists. So how
Yes.
how
And
are you managing that?
I I wish I had an answer. It is definitely day by day. It's definitely hard being the only parent and it adds a whole nother layer to things when the other parent is dead and not just, not involved. It's really a struggle because you don't have anybody else to blame. You don't have anybody else to rely on. But on the other side, he's my best friend. We're best buds. He's he's doing great. He learns new stuff every day. He's a lot of fun. He is a terror, but he's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that tracks. One day he's gonna turn 15 and you're gonna have to teach him how to drive.
Ah,
I know. I just ruined your whole day. You're welcome.
yep.
You just ruined her whole, like, the next 12
12
years for
years.
her.
That's all I'm going to be thinking about for 12 years.
No, she'll be too busy to remember that. Does he ask about his dad? Does he bring it up, or is it just like this is normal life for him and it's just not a big deal for him?
This is normal life for him. He
Yeah.
doesn't really bring it up. And I definitely know that like the pin's going to drop someday where he's going to be like, we're going to have to talk about it and what happened. But I like that, he doesn't have to be traumatized right now. He was kind of young enough. It sucks either way because he was young enough to not remember, but he was young enough not to remember. Sucks on both ends.
Yeah. So my youngest was 2 when Jason died, and so it's it's interesting because he has siblings who do remember and bring it up, but I kind of wonder if he was an only child, if it would be a complete non-issue to him. Like he might just every once in a while say, "Oh, it's interesting that I don't have a dad and everybody else has a dad," but for him it's so much less of a thing than for the older ones. I have the same feelings. Like it's nice that he doesn't have the same traumatized experience, but then it really also sucks that he doesn't have really any memories of his dad.
Right? I 100% agree with that. It's hard either, I can't decide if it's better or not.
I know, I was just gonna ask, like, Anita, for you, I don't know if you can remember back to the first year and a half, and we could probably find it on the podcast because you were
Yeah.
talking about it. But yeah, how your youngest is faring. I remember he was always just funny and doing funny things,
Yeah,
and
I just really remember it was just, I mean, still is. It's just like, oh, this is my life, and this is because they don't know any different. They haven't grown up, any different than how it is now. So, yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
Skylar, have you met any other young widows out in real life, or are we our only widow friends right now?
Mm, you guys are really my only widow friends right now.
Okay, who lives in Pennsylvania, kind of in the neutral territory between the Eagles and the Steelers.
between, yeah.
Maybe we can find her some Amish widow friends. They
But
definitely listen to the podcast.
They're around.
they're around, but they're not never gonna find us, right? Because isn't no electricity,
No
no social
podcasts.
media.
I just know that they aren't really allowed to go to the doctor or anything. Like they use their own doctor. So when they come in the ER, it's scary.
Bad.
Okay, got it.
I have a very, very important question that I cannot believe it took me this long to think of. Scrapple. Yes or no?
No.
Skylar's face said it all.
I am with you. Scrapple is yucky, but Jason loved it. Jason's family is from like Philadelphia area. So
Mm,
they love the Scrapple. Well, that's not true. He loved it, not all of his family.
What's in it?
Terrible things, I think. It's like a sausage, but I think it has a cornmeal binder. Does that sound right, Skylar?
yeah, it's got a lot of things going on.
It's like a hot dog, but with
Is
cornmeal.
it one of those things that somebody was like, I have leftovers and it's now this dish?
Like all the pig
Mhm.
parts go
Oh
into
gosh.
and it's this really off-putting gray color. It's just not, I don't know. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
I think my husband liked it too.
That's probably why they're dead.
Yeah, it took him out.
There's a jazz standard someone wrote, I think Charlie Parker, called Scrapple from the Apple. That's
Okay.
all I know about Scrapple. So now it kind of has a different hue in my mind.
Yeah.
Well, Skylar, we need you to be able to meet some young widows in the wild. There have to be some around.
I know I need some in the wild.
Do you think that would be helpful, Skylar, to have friends who are in your same situation?
I think so. I think it would be helpful having people close to me that, I can interact with and like do things with. I am in a couple like support groups on Facebook that were super helpful when it first happened because I was like, oh my gosh, this happens to everybody. It sounds terrible, but like there was so many people who were like in the same situation that I just couldn't wrap my head around because you never think it's going to happen to you.
Yeah. Were you 28? No, 20. How old were you when he died? So young.
29.
Yeah. And who in their ever in their wildest dreams thinks I might be widowed when I'm 29? Like nobody.
Right. And it's funny, I'm thinking of a story. My husband was 10 years older than me, and I told him daily, I was like, you have to outlive me because I'm not going to be able to do it without you. And he's like, you realize I'm already old, right?
The statistics are already against you.
Yeah.
I have a question just about momming. Obviously, I'm not a mom of humans, but I know things like people take their kids to play groups or the playground, and moms kind of making friends there might be a thing, or talking to each other. Do you take your son to parks or anything and like meet other moms and then they try to get to know you and you have to say, well, my husband's dead and here's what's happening, or are you not really so involved in that area?
So I realized I was trauma dumping on a lot of people.
Good.
I would go to the store and things and see people I haven't seen in a while, and they're like, "How are you?" And I'm like, "Well, my husband was killed in an accident, and I'm a 29-year-old widow." And they just look at me and they're like terrified, and I'm like, "Oh, sorry."
You're like, well, you asked, hey, it's good for them. Then they'll learn to either accept the answer or not ask.
Right now, I kind of don't trauma dump as much as I used to. If they'll ask, I tell them, but I'm not like super forthcoming about it.
It took me so long to not feel like that was just about to burst out of my mouth with any new interaction. And it's still there. Like I every time I meet a new person, I think to myself, how long is it until I'm going to have to tell them that I'm widowed? How far into this relationship are we going to get before that's, and it depends on how long the relationship is going to be, if I jump in and tell them sooner rather than later or never at all cuz it's. But it used to be everybody, like cashier at the grocery store, sure.
Yeah,
Guy,
like they're looking at me like, "Where's your husband?" And I'm just ready to go, ready to answer.
yeah. He's in a cemetery plot that he got mad at me as a ghost for buying.
He'll never forgive me for that.
Do you take Wyatt to the cemetery and visit? And are you like, Dad's in there? Or no?
I do take him. I've like we did like a celebration of life like when it was a year out, but Wyatt is my son is very much, oh, there's trees. Oh, there's grass. And he's just like trampling all over the graves everywhere. And it's not a sad place. It's a place to go. We have fun for a little bit. I talk to him for a little bit and then we head out.
Have you had a lot of help from your community and your family with him? Like, have they stepped up to help you be a parent on your own?
Oh, yeah. My parents are amazing. They, when I first went back to work and I was still working full time, I worked until like almost midnight. I worked kind of second shift, and my mom worked first shift, and she'd stay at my house till midnight, and then she'd go home and go work the next morning at 7 a.m. And she wouldn't even think twice about it. She'd stay with Wyatt for me. And, they're really the only help that I have, but they're so great.
Thank you, moms out there who help their kids. Skylar, you are what we call a widow baby. Like you're so new into this. It's been almost a year and a half, which to the outside world, you should be done grieving by now because you've hit the year mark. So obviously you're fine. But what do you see going forward in your life? Can you even try and look ahead at all, or is that still not something you're able to do?
I think my saving grace through all of this is having a son that is so young because, I can't stop and get caught up in it too long. Like, Wyatt has a preschool program, and, you know, Wyatt has to potty train, and Wyatt has to learn how to tie his shoes, and Wyatt has to do this. So he keeps me trucking along, and it really has helped me shape into things like, when this is all said and done, now it's just me and Wyatt. So me and Wyatt can build a house, and me and Wyatt can do this. And it gives me something to look forward to, like, because I'm not really doing it alone. Like, don't get me wrong, it does get lonely, and I feel alone because I'm the only parent, and sometimes the tough days are hard because I don't have somebody who can be like, go get your dad. But it really has helped me a lot because I can't, get caught up in grief too long.
Yeah. It's like the little ones are your wings and your anchor sometimes at the same time, right? Like there's so much effort and so much work, but they also give your life so much meaning and purpose. So it's a lot wrapped in one tiny little jerk body.
Yeah. Like I'm sitting in my bed and I'm really sad, but why it's like, well, we have tickets to Monster Jam. So
So, yeah. Yes. And just for the record, I really love my kids. Please don't call CPS on me. But they can be unkind and they can be funny.
Anita is just a sarcastic kind of a gal
I
that
am.
makes jokes all the time. We don't get mad at her.
Please don't get mad at me. Please.
Skylar, sometimes a lot of times when we talk to people, they've learned some new things about themselves or started new hobbies or new interests that they didn't know they might have. Now I know you have been a widow for almost a year and a half, so you might only be in survival mode and you're working and you're doing a ton of stuff. So not saying you need an extracurricular thing outside of that. But are there any things that have surprised you or new things that you've done because of being widowed?
not that anything was wrong with it, but I was very codependent on my husband. I called him my emotional support husband, where like anytime I would go do something, I wanted him to be with me, even if he sat in a hotel room and just waited for me to be done. So I feel like a baby bird that has been shoved off the ledge and is trying to fly by myself. And it really has taught me like independence and how to kind of make decisions for myself, where I'm not constantly looking at someone to make the decision for me just because it feels easier or like I'm not going to make the right one. So I think it's given me a little bit of independence. It kind of forced me out of the nest a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really rude way to force somebody out of the nest.
I
But
know.
it's true. Like you can't do that anymore. And so you either it's like sink or swim time, right? And you're swimming, so congratulations. Or you're flying. That I just mixed my metaphors.
Or you've base jumped and you're just free falling, but you have that outfit on that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
She's
my spacesuit.
Yeah.
she's doing great. What we find as widows, often to our chagrin, is that there are a lot of secondary losses, things that aren't directly related to the death of your person, but that come along with it. Have you experienced any of those secondary losses?
Yes, so my husband has an older son that was, in my life for 7 years. And his mom and I just really were never on the best of terms, no matter how hard I tried. So I, lost him when I lost my husband.
That is so hard because you don't have any rights in that situation and you just basically have to take it on the chin. I feel like that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, do you think that that will soften with time, or do you think that's just something you have to accept as not going to happen?
I'm hopeful because he's 13 now. He was 12 when it happened, where he's close to those years where he can kind of have his own opinion on things and kind of maybe he'll have questions that he'll want to talk to me about directly, if he wants to understand why we're not around. So I'm hopeful that, things will take a change. And also, he has a younger brother that was a part of his life for 2 years.
Right. That's,
Mhm.
I didn't even think about it in that way. That's really sucky for him, too. I'm using the word suck a lot, which is very upsetting to my mom. She hates that word. So,
Sorry, Mom.
it's, uh,
Oh, that's so hard. Death is stupid and grief is hard. It sucks. Eh,
Mhm.
Anita?
yeah. And it comes with so much more than you would even think. Like, there's just a lot that's under the surface as well. So,
Skyler, do you eat cheese? And if so, what's your favorite cheese?
I love cheese. My favorite kind? I like all cheese.
Perfect.
Like so much that I have to cut my son off because he loves cheese too. And I'm like, all right, that's enough cheese, my dude.
I know it's too expensive to be just you gotta ration it a little bit.
We can accept the answer of all cheese. Actually, Scott's episode, that was the episode before this, he had the same answer. So there you go.
Yeah,
There's two in a row for all the
Yay.
cheese.
all the cheeses.
That means
Well,
that Skylar needs to come to Hawaii when Daisy Fest happens. When Scott does that
to
and
eat
makes our
cheese.
spread of all of the cheeses. You know what? And you can bring Wyatt and you guys can both eat all the cheese.
We'll be at the cheese table.
Great.
Skylar, thank you so much for joining us today. We won't tell anybody that you're an Eagles fan. We will keep that a secret.
I'm not ashamed. It's fine.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you'd like to keep the podcast going, will you check out our Patreon? It's patreon.com/WWDN.
If you'd like to buy us tacos, go to buymeacoffee.com/widow we do now.
We always love a nice review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And until we get to talk to you again, I'm Anita.
I'm Mel.
And I'm Skylar.
And we are just two young widows and one young widow from Little League Baseball Town, USA. And we're all just trying to figure out widow
We
to
now.
Mel.
Yeah,
We have a major announcement to make.
go for it.
Did you know that right now all plans on Mint Mobile are what?
$15 a month.
Okay, that's truly ridiculous. Do you know how much regular cell phones are?
Yep.
$1 bazillion a month. 15 is less than that.
New customers get 3 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month if you sign up right now. And guess what? I use it. I love it. I've used it all over the country, all over the world, and it's great. And if you're wondering about phones, they have those available as well, or you can just port your own number and your current phone over to Mint Mobile. They make it so easy.
So if people are interested in trying out Mint Mobile, how can they go about doing that?
Go to trymintmobile.com/WWDN. And you know, it's interesting. When my dad died, we actually put his phone on a Mint Mobile plan because it kept his number going, but it was $15 a month. So there you go. And there's different storage plans, but you might as well just get the unlimited because it's $15 a month.
Absolutely. All right, go try it today.
That's trymintmobile.com/WWDN.